Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. Jake and I here. We got a lot to talk about in today's episode. Hopefully, we keep it within a 30-minute time frame that we've been shooting for. But just to kick it off, we're going to start talking about the World Series. Obviously, both Game 7s and the CSs, I thought that the Phillies were going to win. I thought Houston would win too, going back home, tying the series. But it didn't end up happening, which I'm okay with because I would rather see the Rangers in the World Series. But
It'd be their first World Series win if they win.
yeah. And I think the last
World
time they
Series
played there
title.
was like 2011, right?
lost
They
to
had
the Cardinals.
Hamilton. Yeah.
That was that good. I think it was
That was like that David
or,
Freese thing.
There was either a catch or a walk-off homer or something. It was crazy.
That was against the Cardinals, right?
Yeah.
Interesting
note on that one series, Houston, the away team won every home game.
I'm pretty sure that actually happened in the NLCS too.
No, because Philadelphia won.
Oh, were they home the first two games?
Philadelphia won Game 5. It was 2-2, and Philly won Game 5 in Arizona. So Philadelphia was up 2-0 in Philly.
Oh, yeah. Arizona had the walk-off game that was at home.
3 in a row at Arizona. And Philadelphia won Game 5, and then Arizona won the last two games. So almost, but
yeah,
that's crazy. People always talk about we want home. But I tell you what, in a lot of cases, I mean, even for the Cubs going back to 16, they won all their games on the road, basically, right? In the World Series. Yeah. They won one game at home and out of the 3. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But so I don't know if maybe home don't matter as much as you might think it does.
I think in football it matters a lot. In every sport,
in football, especially for teams
when your defense is out there.
Well, the teams that play are used to like the heat. Like the southern teams have to go up north to play in the cold, but then vice versa if they got to come to the south when it's hot. So I mean, I think it definitely does matter a lot for football, probably a little more than baseball. But I think I'm going to stick with the favorite in Texas.
And how many?
I think 6. So it's going to go games. It's going to go 2-3-2, right? That's a nice catch. First 2 will be in Texas, and then the next 3 will be in Arizona.
Mm-hmm. Last two in Texas.
I'm going to take the Rangers in 6. It's a pretty interesting World Series, right? The
2
Arizona
teams I don't think a lot of
and the
people
Texas
had
Rangers
being in there.
Yeah, and not 2 probably well-fouled franchises, but here they are in the World Series. I mean, in their respective cities, I guess, but
I'd be okay with either team winning.
Yeah, I mean, the Arizona hasn't won since when they beat the Yankees.
What, they had like Randy Johnson? Was that 01?
01, they beat the Yankees, and then Texas was in it in 11.
Yeah.
They lost.
I would like to see Texas get their first ring, but I'm going to pick Arizona, and I'm going to take Arizona in 6 as well, just like Jake did, but with Texas.
They both have good starting rotations. I mean, at least good 1-2 punches, so.
I just like what I'm seeing out of the Diamondbacks right now. One thing I thought was pretty cool, Mad Dog Russo said he was going to retire if they came back and won the series. And I don't know if he's probably actually going to retire. I hope that
idiot does retire. I cannot stand Mad Dog Russo.
But I really like watching the Diamondbacks play, and that Ketel Marte, and they got good pitching, like Jake said. I think they're going to get it done. Either way, it's going to be a good series.
This is why it doesn't matter what seed you are. Just make the fucking playoffs, which is why I was so frustrated with the Cubs, because this was the team that was trailing the Cubs almost the entire year, right?
Yeah.
And if we didn't lose 6 or 7 to them, I mean, I don't think the Cubs would be here, but you don't know. Nobody thought Arizona was going to be here.
Yeah. Yeah, all you got to do is get in.
84 wins.
Yeah.
I mean, what did the Cubs end up with?
They ended up with 80-something.
I mean,
low 80s.
Weren't far off, and then here you go. So everyone's like, "Oh, well, even if they make the wild card, they're not going to go nowhere." How the fuck do you know? I hate people like that. Just make the playoffs, you have a chance.
Should be a great series. We look forward to watching it. We're getting into football. Thursday night game's going on right now, but we already picked. We both got the Buffalo Bills. I think Buffalo's going to.
Now, don't get us wrong. Buffalo's been playing like dog shit.
Yeah.
And they should be 3-4 with that win versus New York.
They should have lost the Giants. With that being said, though, I got Buffalo in this one.
I've got Buffalo. I don't know. I didn't find a spread because
the game started,
late.
so we were a little
I would
late.
think it would probably have been Buffalo by
It might
5 or 6.
Yeah, probably 5 or 6. Especially with them being at home. But I personally think I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucks win this game. They've lost 3 in a row, but they're undefeated on the road.
Well, Buffalo's going to have to kick a field goal here, so that's a good stand.
Jacob, my upset of the week, I'm going to take Tampa.
Holy shit, it's windy.
I'm going to take Tampa.
Okay, so that's who you're taking it though.
Yeah, I'm going to switch my pick. I'm going to take Tampa. Okay. Is that all right with you?
Well, yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
I'm sticking with
Tampa.
Buffalo.
That's my upset of the week. You got to make one upset of the week.
Yeah, it's not going to be this game because Buffalo is reeling. Buffalo is very injured. Let's point that out. They are injured and they're playing with.
Who do they got out?
Well, now you put me on the spot. Well, a couple defensive guys. I don't know. I just remember he missed the field goal.
No, I slid it in
I just remember when they lost to who'd they lose? When they lost to the Patriots, all the Bills fans were saying on Twitter was just how they were so injured. So I'm not sure quite exactly who's injured, but I just know they're injured.
I got you.
But the next man up. I mean, what are you gonna do? You still got to play the game.
Start kicking off Sunday. Well, we have no London or Germany games this week.
Thank God.
But with that being said, we got the Rams at Dallas. The Rams came off a surprising loss to the Steelers last week. I didn't think they'd lose. But I tell you what, Dallas is at home. They're coming off a couple tough weeks. They were on a bye week last week, I believe.
It's time they get back on track.
So I agree. I think this is the week they get back on track.
I think it's time. I think Dallas wins. I think they win pretty easy. I think they win by more than 6.
By more than 6?
Yeah, I think they cover the spread. I mean, I know we kind of probably talk a little shitty about Dallas on here just because they're America's team, so they say. But this is the week I think they get back on track. They are a really good team. And I would not want to play them. Unfortunately, the Dolphins do play them later on in the year.
Yeah, they are.
Dallas is a good team.
It sucks.
They can be explosive.
Yeah, they got a lot of good weapons on offense, but it sucks for them that they lost Trayvon Diggs for the rest of the year. He's a hell of a defensive player. Yeah, I got Dallas. They're playing at home.
Dallas.
They need this game, and I think they'll get it. Vikings favored by 1.5 against the Packers, who started off the year 2-1. Didn't look tremendous, but they didn't look terrible at the beginning of the year.
They came back last week.
Yeah.
Took the lead.
A missed field goal. If they don't miss that field goal, they win the game. But easy to say now. But 2-4, they're reeling, not looking good. With that, I know they're at home, but I'm just not liking what I'm seeing right now. Minnesota had a really impressive win Sunday night. I'm taking the Vikings.
Kirk Cousins looked fucking like a top 5. He made every throw. It was I was amazed that they played that good.
Yeah.
I mean, if Minnesota plays like that, now I know they were in Minnesota. I mean, it wouldn't. He might not be that good like if they were on the road in a playoff game, but you see how good Minnesota can be. This is kind of how you thought they would be at the start of the year if you're a Minnesota fan. I'm also going to take them on the road. I just don't trust the Packers offensively. I don't mind them defensively. I feel like they keep them in games. And the offense it was 9-0 at halftime.
If you like the Packers defense, for example, the last 3 weeks they've given up below 20 points.
Defense?
Yeah, in each game, besides one.
And they're 0-3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the offense's
You can't
fault.
do that.
And they had I guess the offensive players, stayed after practice and have been really working to try to get this thing together. But, the offensive players, good on them, but also a lot of this, in my opinion, falls on the coaching. And I know that I've been very hard on Jordan Love, and it's week 8, right? So I'm going to let it play out the rest of the year, and I hope things turn out for the better. But it just doesn't look great right now. But, yeah, I'm going to take Minnesota, and like Jake said, Kirk Cousins is a pretty decent NFL quarterback.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Man,
like,
if he was.
Yeah, you could have a couple guys better, but, like, if he was my starting quarterback, I mean, you can't really complain that much because he's not bad.
Well, and what's crazy is I think Minnesota was 0-3 at home. Which is what I found unbelievable because I feel like they always play well at home.
Yeah.
But I mean, they took it to San Francisco.
Yeah, they did. They played
now
really well.
This is in Green Bay. I'm sure there's going to be quite a bit of Skull fans that make this trip.
I'm sure.
I mean, I just don't know. This might be the week Green Bay comes out and shows you that they're still here, but they have to for their any hope.
Yeah, and they got to show up for me to pick them. I just can't do it again. And I think I could be wrong on this, but I think the last 3 games are getting outscored in the first half, like 61-6.
They're always having to come back.
Yeah.
I got Minnesota.
Yeah, same. Atlanta, Tennessee. You got Will Levis starting at quarterback for the Titans this week.
Fuck. What happened to what's his name? The other quarterback.
Malik Willis?
Yeah.
I don't know. He's getting benched, evidently.
Oh, boy.
Tannehill's hurt, but he's getting benched. But, I don't really have a lot of faith in Levis coming out there in his first start and getting a win.
Trouble in the old Tennessee Titans.
I'd hammer Atlanta.
I don't know if I'd hammer it. I would take Atlanta to win. For some reason, I think Tennessee will stay in this game because they can run the ball with Henry.
Big Henry game.
It's going to have to be like a 200-yard game from him for them to have a chance. I just don't think Atlanta's that good. I feel like they've kind of skated to 3-3.
Mm-hmm.
Are they 3-3 or 4-3? Whatever their record is,
they're 3-3.
I feel like they beat the Packers by 2. They had a game-winning field goal last week in Tampa. Like I just feel like they're skating now.
Hey,
come
win's
at
a
me
win.
all you want. A win's a win in the NFL. I totally agree and totally understand that. But I just feel like they're not going to go into Tennessee and dog walk them. I just don't think they're that good. But I'm taking them. So.
Tennessee seems to be selling right now. They just traded their safety to the Eagles, and I think Derrick Henry's going to get moved as well by the end of the season, by the end of the trade deadline. So we'll see what ends up happening there.
Miami?
We both got the Falcons. I was reading Baltimore.
Fuck.
That'd be a pretty formidable backfield, wouldn't it?
Fuck.
Saints -1 and Indianapolis, basically a pick 'em. I'm going to take the Saints and Derek Carr against Indiana and Gardner Minshew.
That might be PI. I think that's PI. It is. You know what? I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts. I think they have impressed me this year because every time I don't pick them, they play well like last week.
I think they got robbed last week.
I think last week they got robbed. I think there was that bad call. I know what's his name was really upset. McAfee. Yeah. There's a goddamn moth out here. But I'm taking the Colts. There's a reason it's a pick 'em.
And I feel like that's always kind of a tough place to play for opposing teams. The Colts seem to just stay in the game whenever they're at home. They seem to be right there.
I mean, there's not a lot of how many domes are there
in the NFL? I don't know. Maybe we should have to look that up.
It's an interesting question I asked that, but
I just
feel like dome teams. Yeah, I feel like dome teams have an advantage. I don't know why. I just feel that way. Like Minnesota, normally. Indianapolis always plays well at home.
Yeah.
Where else we got a dome?
Well, you got the Rams. I don't really think theirs makes a big difference because
I feel like isn't that open?
The Chargers are there. No.
You can't open
Vegas,
one of them?
Vegas has one. Atlanta's got one. New Orleans has one.
Oh, and if you think about it, how good has New Orleans been at home?
Oh, a lot
over
of years.
The years.
A lot of years. Thanks to Drew Brees and
it's just.
And their fans are nuts down there.
I'm taking the Colts.
All right, I'm taking New Orleans. I think it's going to be a tight one though. Patriots at Miami.
Technically, can that be my upset? Throw it away, Baker.
Yeah, if do you want it? Yeah, that could be your upset.
Well, let me continue to go through, but
okay.
I might have one. I might have something else. Anyways,
Go ahead.
This game right here for the Dolphins is trap. They should pound New England, right? New England's offense is feeble. They got a pretty good defense. Huge win for New England. Just kind of a feel-good win. Like I told you, I think if you go back in the podcast and watch it, I said New England Buffalo play pretty good games every year, and New England won. But I feel like Miami's different. Miami's at home. Miami plays well at home. Miami has played well at home for the last 3 years.
Tyreek said he's playing.
Tyreek Hill is playing. Dolphin fans are freaking out.
Ramsey's supposed to play.
Jalen Ramsey says he's suiting up. I did not expect that to come. I expected that to come after Germany, which then I think the bye is after Germany. So I expect him to come back 3 weeks from now. But I feel like Miami is like, this is our season. We have to get this win. Because if for some reason we lose to the Chiefs and we lose this week, we're 5-4. If you win this week, 6-2, 6-3 is a lot better come off the bye than 5-4.
Yeah.
I feel like that's might be why they're. I don't know why Jalen Ramsey's coming back. I don't know if they're nervous. I mean, I feel like you could beat New England without him.
He must have been rehabbing his ass off
because I didn't think he was
really
going to
be back till December.
Even like 3 weeks ago, he was looking good. So maybe he's ready. They'll probably go for it. It's 4th and 1. I'm going to take Miami. I don't know about 9. It might go up. It did start at 10.5. And then once they weren't sure about Ramsey, Hill, it went down to 9. It might go back up. Anyways, it's going to be around about that 9-10 range. Dolphins play well at home. I hope the fans come out in numbers and try to keep some of that goddamn stupid whatever. What do you call New England's colors? Of blue?
Red, white, and blue, right? That's what they seem to wear.
It's not that blue.
Like a little bit of a silverish
little
gray.
dark, maybe a darker. I don't know what it is.
Oh
my God.
Wow.
This is why
I don't even know if they got blocked.
Why do you not go for it?
I don't know.
That's
bad.
That's Illinois' old field goal kicker. You dumbass. Go for it. 4th and 1. Miami.
Yeah, I got Miami as well. I don't know if I'd take the -9, but Tyreek Hill's got 900 and some receiving yards this year. He's going to beat the 2,000 yards. I don't see how he doesn't. As long as he stays healthy, I think he does it.
I think they roll New England.
I think they got a good bounce back win coming this week after they lost to the Eagles last week.
The defense has started to look a little bit better. Now, I know last week they gave up 31 points, but the defense looked good when they needed to stop the run. They were able to stop the run the whole game. I mean,
besides the tush push, that's impossible.
That play, doesn't really tick me off that much. But I do think it's going to get banned.
Probably will.
But the Dolphins, coming off a loss, so they got to get one.
Yeah.
And
they're a better team. If you're just looking at it, they're a better team.
This is almost a game where Miami can play like shit and win. So if Miami plays decent, they're going to kill them. But it better not be like that Carolina game. Because I feel like New England's a little bit better than Carolina. You get down 14-0 to Bill Belichick and that Carolina. Defense.
Yeah,
you might be in some trouble, and I might be banging my head off the wall.
All right, here we go. We got the Jets and the Giants. You know how I feel about the Jets. I wouldn't really say that the Giants are at home when they both play the same fucking place. No, but
there'll be more Giants fans because the season tickets got offered to their
first.
Fans, not the Jets.
I'm gonna take the Jets in this game. You guys know how I feel about the Jets. I gotta stay consistent. I'm taking the Jets.
I mean, the Giants almost won in Buffalo. I mean, I don't know how I feel about. I'm gonna take the Jets as well.
Wow.
I'm going to take the Jets.
Coming off a bye?
I just feel like they're better, but I just feel like the Giants can hang with them.
And they might. The thing is with the Giants, you don't know if Daniel Jones is going to be playing a quarterback or Tyrod Taylor, but you could make the argument that they've looked a lot better with Tyrod Taylor. And Dable said that might be a quarterback competition. So you got a guy making $40 million a year, and it's going to be a quarterback competition. It's something the front office will have to speak to. But
now, see, this is what I'm telling. This is why I hate fucking Twitter. Jalen Ramsey tweets, well, where the fuck did it go?
What's the headline?
Jalen Ramsey says, so this is why I just got a crazy amount of text. Well, this is news to me. Motherfuckers don't care about being right. They care about being first in today's media. That's sad. So while I think he is going to play, I think he's upset that it got somebody else brought it to light before him or the team. So I mean, I don't know.
Maybe he won't play, but either way, we still got Miami.
Either way, Miami is gonna roll.
And I got the Jets in this one.
I got the Jets.
The Jets are right there in the division. I mean, they're 3-3.
I guess
they are.
I guess
they beat the Bills.
I don't think they're better than the Dolphins.
I don't think they're better than the Dolphins.
I don't even.
But they're there. That's all I know.
I don't even think they're better than the Bills. That's holding. It's coming back.
Jacksonville at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's gonna be a tough place to play for Jacksonville. Pittsburgh's got a good defense. They got a good head coach. I like Jacksonville better when I just look at the quarterback play. I wouldn't really – Pittsburgh's got a really good wide receivers, but I look at running back, I'd take ETN.
Yeah,
and I like what I like. I like what I see in Jacksonville.
I like Jacksonville too.
I'm going with Jacksonville.
I'm going to take Jacksonville. I think Pittsburgh's little run of barely beaten teams is over. I don't think Pittsburgh's that good. I just think they're formidable.
I think Pittsburgh's 4-2.
Yeah.
Somehow they always manage to be above 500.
I'm just saying.
Go ahead, Jake. Philly, Washington.
Just saying, upset alert. I don't know that I want to pick it because I got another pick coming up, and we're only doing one. But this is the team that almost beat Philadelphia in Philly. Remember?
Yeah, they should have. He looked like he was in bounds when he caught that ball to me.
So now it's a different game, right? Philly's probably going to win by, a 7 or 8 a touchdown. But all I'm saying is this is the team that almost won in Philly. So the Dolphins weren't even close. Yeah. Well, kind of. It was tied to the 4th. But with that being said, I just feel like Philly should be on upset alert. Jalen Hurts, was limping last week. A lot of people seen that. They were a little bit banged up too, they said before the game. Washington's at home. Don't know. I'm just saying they should be on upset alert.
You make a lot of good points there, but Philly has such a great defensive line.
No, I don't. Don't get me wrong. What the Jesus? He had 85 years. Of course, he finds someone wide open.
But Philly's got a really good defensive line, offensive line, and Washington is like basically selling their whole team, and their quarterback is on pace to get sacked the most ever in NFL history. So, with that being said, I'm going to take.
I'm taking Philly. I just thought. With how they played in Philly, like it could be a game.
Houston and Carolina, the number 1 and number 2 overall picks. But I tell you what, C.J. Stroud's looked better than Bryce Young so far this year.
Is this the week Carolina gets it done, though?
I mean, it could be, but I'm going to take Houston. They're going to get it done one of these weeks.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to take Houston as well. I just can't. Carolina looked really good versus the Dolphins for 2 quarters, quarter and a half. That's really all I've seen. They just can't move the ball. I mean, they were up 14-0, and then they didn't score again in Miami. And the only reason they scored was because of a pick 6.
Yeah.
So they scored 14 points in the first 5 minutes, and they didn't score the rest of the game. So I just don't know. I don't know about Carolina. I hope Young gets it together.
I don't think he will. Personally,
this is an interesting game too.
But you still got to give him a couple years.
These are 2 of your teams that that fucking play. He's down at the 1. These are 2 of those, not really in the middle, but you're above the middle teams, above the middle pack, just good teams. I think the Browns would be better with
Watson,
their starter. I mean,
they got PJ Walker this week.
But I'm taking Seattle. I mean, you just don't win in Seattle, so unless you got a really good team, I'm taking Seattle. That is the hardest place to play in the NFL.
I agree with Jake. I got a tough time picking
He's
Cleveland.
Short.
At
he didn't
Seattle,
get it. Stopped him 4th and goal at the 1.
I'm going to take Seattle in this game.
Yeah, I'm taking Seattle.
They're just well coached. They do it every week. They do it right. So.
Yeah.
Kansas City at Denver. I'm taking Kansas City. I'm not really thinking twice about it. Kansas City is rolling. Who would have thought? Taylor Swift and company. Kansas City is going to win this game.
Well. Here it is. Upset of the week. Denver over Kansas City.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Why do you say that?
Denver over Kansas City. Well, they're not even – well, I'll tell you why. Because Denver's at home. Every team in one given NFL season kind of has a signature win. Every team. I think that this could be the win that gets Sean Payton and Russell Wilson in Denver on track. I don't know how on track. Denver's defense isn't horrid. It's not great. I mean, it was 9-0 at halftime last week. Denver's offense has enough. I just don't know if they can score enough with Kansas City. So if they create turnovers, you can kick from midfield out there. So you don't really have to get to the 20 or 30 to be in field goal range. I'm taking Denver.
And they've got a good kicker, Will Lutz. But I mean,
I'm taking Denver.
Can you really think Denver can score with Kansas City? I mean,
I don't feel like they're going to have to. I don't feel like they're going to
week.
have to score with Kansas City. I feel like if they can hold Kansas City to under 30, they have a chance.
Okay,
I think, and I know a lot of people say, well, 30 points. Well, Kansas City's probably averaging like what 20 in the high 20s.
High 20s.
So, and I feel Denver can get a couple touchdowns. So I feel like they can. Look, it's not going to happen. I don't think. I'm just saying this is my upset that I think I like.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, you took Tampa over Buffalo.
Yeah, I know.
And I mean, I feel like Buffalo and Kansas City are kind of juggernauts.
They should both beat these teams.
So we'll see.
Baltimore at Arizona.
Yeah,
I got the Ravens. The Ravens looked amazing last week.
I mean, here we go again. Arizona somehow was able to beat Dallas in Arizona. Yeah. So who the fuck knows, but I'm taking Baltimore. I'm sure Dallas was favored by that much too.
I think it was almost 2 touchdowns.
So there you go.
Yeah, but Baltimore looked tremendous last week after there was a lot of questions.
They're back up into the
right there with Kansas City.
They might be the second best team in the AFC.
Yeah.
Now that's
Lamar looked phenomenal.
But we'll get to see Dolphins-Ravens in Baltimore. See, the Dolphins. Every time the Dolphins play a good team, it's on the road.
Yeah, didn't they play in Baltimore last year too?
Yeah, in Baltimore.
What a win! What a
win! But they do get Dallas at home. They get Buffalo at home.
Up next, Bengals at 49ers.
Okay.
49ers without Brock Purdy.
I am taking the Cincinnati Bengals, and I don't know why this is for the 49ers. I just don't. You're just going to – Sam Darnold's going to go in there and just – they're favored by 4 over Joe Burrow and the Bengals? I don't think so. I'm taking Cincinnati. I don't really even think it's an upset. I mean, it is Vegas-wise.
I don't think it's an upset either. I'm also taking Cincinnati.
I just don't –
I'm not going to pick against Joe Burrow against Sam Darnold. No, not doing it.
No. I mean, it could happen. We could be wrong, but
yeah. Sunday Night Football, the Bears at the Chargers. This is the week the Chargers finally get it done.
Chargers. Now look,
I'm picking the Chargers.
It's going to basically be a half 50-50. Chicago fans are going to flock there, but I don't really think that's going to matter. The Chargers have to figure it the fuck out, and if they don't,
head coach might get fired.
If they don't this week, with what the team they have, you have to look at the coach.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that could have been a pick six.
That could have been a pick
Stopped
six.
Stopped him 4th and goal.
At the 1.
3-0 Buffalo. Tampa's going to get the ball back. It is at the 1, though. That's going to be tough to have.
What a defensive stop, though. Big defensive stop.
That could have been a pick six. When that ball left his hands, I'm sure Josh Allen was jumping. I got the Chargers. I think they roll the Bears.
I seen a stat. I think Josh Allen has thrown.
Oh, Josh Allen.
He's thrown like the most interceptions since 2018.
Josh Allen hasn't been good this year, folks. Let's just say that. I mean, you're at the 1, and he's throwing an.
That should have been a pick six.
It should have been. If that guy, I mean.
If you.
Well, he
could have. He could have,
but he wasn't in the. So, anyways.
But back to this game.
I got the Chargers. I think I would probably even take the 8.5. Oh boy.
Fields still out this week.
That Tyson
Badgett,
whatever his name
Baguette.
is, looked good.
Yeah, he didn't look too
bad.
Good.
I mean, let's not shit on the Bears. Dude looked good. The Bears looked good. I mean, take it with a grain of salt. They were playing
Vegas. We lost to Vegas.
Well, who was their quarterback though? You guys were facing Carr.
We played Garoppolo. Carr's on the Saints.
Who is the bet?
They who the hell? They had Brian Hoyer, the Chargers, or the Raiders.
Whatever. You still got to get it done. You still got to get it done. The Bears did. I just don't think they do this week. Chargers have one of the best offenses in the league.
They do. Keenan Allen's playing amazing this year.
Baker, you got to get rid of the ball, dude.
Keenan Allen's playing amazing this year. So I really like what I'm seeing out of their offense, at least. And I think they win this week.
You talk about a very bad Sunday night football and Monday night football game. I mean,
Vegas and Detroit.
The spread it's 20 points, but the spread is 20 points between these two games. I mean, what the fuck?
Detroit got smoked last week, so they're sure as hell not going to get embarrassed on Monday Night Football.
Expect Detroit to come out and beat the shit out of Vegas, and if not, Dan Campbell is going to beat the shit out of every player on that Lions team.
That's well said. I'm taking Detroit. Nothing else really needs to be said there. Jake said it well. I hope everybody enjoys the games this week. We want to do a live video at some point. either with the Dolphins or the Packers, but we'll get one of these weeks. We'll get
or definitely going to do one together for Illinois basketball at some point of that season, which is coming up. I'm actually going to the game Sunday.
Basketball season already starts?
Well, it's scrimmage. It's Illinois versus Kansas.
Oh.
Bill Self's back. Hunter Dickinson.
See, why is a game like that a scrimmage? I mean, it's going to be intense, but nobody's going to really – it doesn't matter.
Do you remember those fires in Maui?
Yeah.
Every single dime raised for this game is going to those. Okay. So all the here we go. Look at this. They got the ball at the 30-yard line. My goodness.
Oh, no, he ran backwards.
Maybe not. He might score.
That was a pretty good return. They got the ball at 22-yard line.
But anyways, all the proceeds, tickets, beer, food, all that money. And the reason they thought they could get a lot of fans is because Bill Self obviously was the coach that built that 05 team when Illinois lost. He's returning home for one of the first times. Hunter Dickinson is winless versus Illinois in his 3 or 4 years at Michigan. He is now on Kansas. He's coming back. There's probably going to be about 10,000 people there. It's not quite a sellout. You kind of don't expect to sell out a scrimmage game. I mean, let's be honest. That's 17,000 people.
Because it doesn't matter.
17,000 people need to be there for a sellout. I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe they lower tickets and just get some money to make all of it go towards it. But it's for a good cause. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun to boo Dickinson and Bill Self, and Illinois fans will treat it like it's a real season game, but it's not.
Well, I hope you enjoy that, Jake, and I hope everybody enjoys this weekend. We'll be back next week.